Bangladesh faces a deepening crisis as violence and systematic persecution against minority communities intensify. Amid this alarming situation, the government's failure to curb human rights abuses starkly contrasts with its demand for India to repatriate ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. In a powerful press conference held in New Delhi, journalists and activists came together to spotlight the worsening conditions of religious minorities in Bangladesh, calling out the government's apathy and urging accountability. Here's a report. Bangladesh is currently grappling with serious challenges related to religious intolerance, the treatment of minorities, and the rise of Islamic militancy. Since the rise to power of the Yunus government, extremist groups have been increasingly active, expanding their influence in the country. Radical Islamic groups continue to target minority communities, including Hindus, Christians, indigenous people, and tribal groups, often with the tacit support or indifference of the ruling regime. In response to these alarming developments, a significant press conference was recently held in New Delhi to highlight the dire situation faced by these vulnerable groups in Bangladesh. The event, hosted at the Foreign Correspondents Club of South Asia, sought to raise awareness about the escalating persecution and to draw attention to the grave human rights violations under the current political leadership.
Under Yunus' shoulder, militant Islamists are ruling the country. So until Yunus goes, nothing will happen. So this is illegal government. Somehow this government has to go. I don't know how, but we are here to help. We are urging the world, say, please look into this. A country cannot be run by an illegal government. Yunus government is an Islamist government.
The situation in Bangladesh has reached a critical juncture, marked by widespread and targeted violence against minorities, signaling a severe humanitarian crisis. Recently, at least 17 homes belonging to the Christian community were set on fire on Christmas Eve. The devastating arson attack occurred while the residents were away in a nearby village for prayers and Christmas celebrations, leaving them homeless and deeply traumatized.
All the elements of atrocities are in Bangladesh now towards minority people. The minority means it's not only Hindus, it targeted to Buddhist, Christian, original people, tribal people, atheists, transgender, to everyone. So it's not only just Hindus. So the situation is very worse since 5th of August. It started with 5th of August, still happening. They are burning Christians' house, they are burning Buddhist temple, they are burning Hindu temple, they are killing the Shabayat, the Shabayat of the Shoshan, they are killing them. It's everyday incident, and especially our daughters and mothers are not safe in Bangladesh now because they could be easily targeted.
Bangladesh's treatment of its minorities, coupled with its demands on India for the repatriation of ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, exposes a glaring hypocrisy. This double standard is evident as Bangladesh attempts to exert pressure on neighboring nations like India, demanding Hasina's return while failing to address its own internal human rights violations. The recent Delhi press conference made it abundantly clear that India will not entertain any request to send Sheikh Hasina back to Bangladesh under any circumstances.
I believe India will never hand over Sheikh Hasina to Bangladesh, and India should not. Because India always help the helpless. So Sheikh Hasina is at this time is helpless. So as a Hindu majority, the Hindus always help the poor. So she should be. India should never give Sheikh Hasina to Bangladesh. So no question.
The international community continues to watch closely as the situation in Bangladesh evolves, with mounting calls for action to protect the rights and safety of its vulnerable minorities. The need for global intervention remains urgent as the persecution of these communities intensifies.